Hello again. It's been a while, but I had something I wanted to talk about today. Star Wars has always been something I've enjoyed, and they started a new publishing initiative. So there is a bunch of new books out, and also some young adult, actually just a chapter book and a comic book, all in something called the High Republic era. So I decided I'd do a review on this. The first book and the linchpin of this series is Light of the Jedi. For those who aren't aware, the High Republic era takes place roughly a little over 200 years before the first Phantom Menace movie. So it's pretty much untapped area where people can just create this whole new universe is what they're doing. And it's going to be through books and comics and I guess possibly games and TV show. I guess Acolyte is a TV show they're working on. It's going to be in this era. And Light of the Jedi is our first introduction into this world. And I've read a bunch of Star Wars books. In fact, I read a bunch of books before this came out because I started getting back into Star Wars recently. And this is an amazing book. For those who don't know what this story is about, there is something they call the Great Disaster, which basically rallies these Jedi around saving a lot of people in the universe. And we find out what causes the Great Disaster, which is the villains of this series called the Nihil, which, if I would describe the Nihil, they're, to me anyway, they are like, think of like the Sons of Anarchy biker gang in Star Wars, and it's kind of like what this group reminds me of. Just really creepy villains. In fact, I actually also listened to the audiobook of this, and the audiobook really makes the Nihil seem incredibly creepier than even reading it on the page. But I've read this book, and I've actually been listening to it on audio, so I've actually read it twice, I guess, and I love this book. This is a 5-star, great start off to the series. There's a bunch of different characters in here, and I really highly recommend this to anybody who's a fan of Star Wars. I think you'll really enjoy it. Don't listen to some of the negative comments that I've seen people talk about. It's mostly just political based. Just read the book. You will definitely enjoy it. I also picked up this, which is a young reader chapter type book, which has stickers and stuff, called The Great Jedi Rescue. The nice thing about this is obviously you have pictures, and this covers the first part, or I guess the first third of this Light of the Jedi. It basically does it in, easy, digestible parts. What's nice is, like I said, I can see the characters drawn in here, so I can get like another frame of reference of exactly what the characters look like. So that's kind of cool. And I mean, if you have really young children, I don't see how this would not be appropriate. The only thing I will say is there is some loss and some tragedy in the beginning of this book. In fact, in all of the books I've read. And I don't know if young children will be able to handle some of that kind of stuff. It does have a little bit of, I guess, some dark themes with the tragedy that it actually does unfurl in this series. But Great Jedi Rescue, I did kind of enjoy it. I probably will actually pick up more of these just as fun little things. I might give them to my niece with the stickers and stuff. But that's my review for this, The Great Jedi Rescue. The other thing that came out is a middle grade book. That is a test of courage. This character, you see here with this lightsaber, she is, I believe her name is Venestra. She is Venestra. She is the youngest Jedi Master or Jedi Knight. She's the youngest Jedi Knight that passed the trials, and she has a mission where she has to basically babysit this senator's daughter on this trip, and of course something goes wrong, and her this there's another Jedi in it. It does have the Nihil in it. Does have the Nihil in it. It's a middle grade book. It does have a couple of nice pictures in it. One of the cool things about Vanessa is she has her lightsaber. She actually turned into a whip, which is kind of a cool little thing of the story. But I wasn't as impressed with this story. Maybe because Light of the Jedi was so good. It moves a little slow. In my opinion, it's definitely character driven. It's kind of nice to see. There's this other Padawan. There's this other Padawan in here that you see on the cover here. He has a lot of insecurities that are covered in this. Obviously, the senator. She has some issues. The senator's daughter. She has some issues as well. I feel like there's... I would say it's an okay book, but I did have issues with, like I said, it was just kind of slow. The Nihil is definitely connected to the Light of the Jedi. You probably would want to know what happened in Light of the Jedi, at least the first third again, to read this, because it does mention the Nihil. This takes place probably somewhere in between this book, so somewhere from... It doesn't... This book ends... Some of the stuff here wouldn't make sense, so it's kind of like right in between the middle of this book, kind of. But it's an okay book, but it really wasn't my favorite, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to following these characters because I believe the Padawan and the Padawan's over here and the Venestra, they actually have a connection that's going to go forward in other books. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these characters in other storylines. But like I said, this was just an okay book for me. The last thing I'm going to cover is one of the comic books. There's actually one other comic and one other young adult book that hasn't come out yet. They come out in February. But this is the standard Star Wars: The High Republic comic book. This covers a character that is having her trials to become a Jedi Knight, and it's basically an introduction to her, and this is her Jedi Master over there. So you got this woman's trial, and you got this is the Jedi Master, and of course something bad happens during her going through the trials. There is some hints that there might be some hidden agenda going on. It's obviously only the first issue of the comic, so it's going to cover a lot more subject matter. I am cautiously optimistic about this. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. I did enjoy it. But out of all the stuff I've read, to be honest with you, this felt the least connected, even though it's funny because this character here is a main character in the book. But it just felt not as connected as, like, A Test of Courage was to Light of the Republic. It just didn't feel... again, it just didn't feel like it was as much a part. Plus, it had Yoda in it, because Yoda is actually in this High Republic time period. And to be honest with you, I was kind of happy not seeing Yoda in the other books. You know, once I saw Yoda, it was kind of like almost overshadowed the fact that Yoda showed up. The artwork is nice. I really enjoy the artwork. And again, I do want to see where this story goes. But again, I'm cautiously optimistic. So I would say Light of the Jedi is definitely the must-buy. The comic book is probably above average. But again, I want to see where it goes. The Test of Courage is just kind of okay. And this Great Jedi Rescue is just something kind of if you want to have fun with it. and you have young children, it's a great way to introduce people to the concepts of the High Republic without having to read the whole novel. That's what I really feel like with this. And that's my review for all of the High Republic stuff. I know I did this really quick and dirty, and no edits, but I just wanted to get that out there. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I had something to talk about, so I thought it was really cool. If everybody's watching this and you like it, please give it a thumbs up. And again, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.